Hi. Spontaneous live stream occurring right now. I don't know what number live stream this is, but if no one joins in like 5 minutes, okay, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, then I will just end this because I don't. It's just so random that I'm doing it right now. I don't even know what number live stream this is. What number live stream is this? Let's see. Let's see. Um, loads. Live stream. Oh my god, this is like the third time I've worn red during a live stream. I'm literally looking at the thumbnails of all of my previous live streams. It's the third time. I've only worn black and red. Um, but so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, what? I'm so confused. It goes like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I number this wrong? Okay, so maybe technically this is the seventh one. Okay, there's two people here. That's great. I hope I'm not one of the people that's joined, but if you have, okay, I must have been. If you are in the live stream right now, why don't you say a quick hey? So then I know you're here. I'm just gonna prop the phone here. I just felt like doing a live stream right now. Hello. Oh, Red Nino Froz. What's up? Let me see actually if I can. Can I just... Okay, this is my old GoPro. Maybe if I... Okay, wait a second. I should have figured this out before I actually started. Okay, wait. I'm gonna see if I can use my old phone connector thing to prop my phone up. This thing. I'm gonna see if I can connect it to the GoPro stand. Okay, so we're gonna connect it like this. Is this gonna work? Okay, let's see. Do a 360. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, so just here like this, and then, okay, wait, I'm putting it, oh my gosh, wow. Okay, so now making it stand in this corner here. Okay, oh, my wallet. Oh, okay. Here we, oh, it's kind of, there we go. Okay, wait, oops. There we go. Okay. Wow. There we go. There we go. Okay, so, now we are appropriately centered. But I'm just gonna leave this up. So yeah, just comment down below anything you guys want to say. I'm sorry that there haven't been any new Wednesday videos. Obviously, in January there were no Wednesday videos because I was out of the country, but the reason why there was no Wednesday video last week was because I was really, really exhausted. And frankly, I'm still kind of like tired. I'm still getting over my jet lag, because I'm really, really, really jet lagged. But the real reason why well, not that like I'm lying, but the reason why there hasn't been any new Wednesday videos is because I'm really working right now on trying to revamp the channel and working on kind of like In My Humble Opinion 2.0. I'm trying to brainstorm new ideas for the channel, and I'm also currently in the process of really organizing all of the footage that I took when I was out of the country. So I'm in the process right now of organizing the pictures, and then I'm going to move on to the videos, and then I'm eventually going to start editing all of that footage so then you guys can see it on the channel, because I really, really want those travel vlogs to be really, really good, and I don't want to just rush it for the sake of getting it out on a Wednesday. So that's why I'm really taking my time. So I'm sorry that there was no new Wednesday video today. I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a new Wednesday video. Low battery. I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a new Wednesday video next Wednesday either, but just know that the wait should be worth it. I'm actually just plugging in this charger. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's basically it. Have you seen This Is Us? Um, I've seen I watched season 1 all the way through. I haven't seen really any of season 2 except I saw some little bits of the Super Bowl episode. I basically saw like I think 45% of the Super Bowl episode. I started watching that episode from the moment when Rebecca tells the kids what happened to her, what happened to Jack, until the very end. What other shows are you watching on Netflix? Well, currently I'm watching Black Mirror, as we all know. I just got finished watching The Crown because, again, that was all for YouTube. Um, I'm really not watching any shows right now on Netflix. I'm wanting to start the new reboot of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, just because I didn't even watch the original, but I remember just hearing so much about it when I was little, so I want to watch that. If there's any like show that I kind of it's not that I consistently watch it, but I tend to go back and watch an episode here or there. It's Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown. I know that's like not a Netflix original, but that is a show that I like tend to go and watch every now and then. Maybe because I was just traveling this past month, so I'm kind of in this like travel mode. But Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown. Another show I want to watch on Netflix is She's Gotta Have It. I think that was the Spike Lee show, so I want to check that one out. And also Godless. That's the like Western show starring Michelle Dockery from Downton Abbey. For any of you guys who've watched Downton Abbey, but yeah, that's really interesting that you asked me that question because not to spoil anything, but there's a new series that I want to start making on my YouTube channel where essentially I watch the first season of a brand new show and then I tell you guys if it's worth watching or not. So if once I get done watching those two new shows in particular, I'm going to be probably doing a season review on each of those and then telling you guys if it's worth the watch. Okay, I did see a question earlier. Oh wait, show. Wait, how do I? Oh my god, I haven't done this in so long. Okay. Oh, what are your thoughts on The Crown? Oh, I thought The Crown was amazing. I mean, if you want to know my episode by episode thoughts on The Crown, you should just it's a plug, but you should just watch my season 2 reaction and review videos that I made for The Crown for Fan Reaction Fridays. I just got done watching that a couple days ago, and the last my last reaction review to season 2 I think went up on Monday, I believe. But yeah, I thought it was great, and I'm really sad that Matt Smith and Claire Foy aren't going to be in the new season, as well as like, Vanessa Kirby, who is so heavily underrated on the show. I'm surprised that like no one really talks about her, but she's great. I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss like Matthew Good, even though he just joined this season as Tony. But yeah, I'm gonna miss them. Someone actually commented in one of those videos and said, "Oh, maybe they'll do like a flashback in season 3, and then we'll get to see Claire Foy and Matt Smith and all the old people sort of like reprise their roles in that tiny flashback." I don't know. They had that moment with the actor who played Winston Churchill. I'm forgetting his name, but yeah, we had that little small moment. I want to watch it, but wasn't sure. no, you should definitely give it a watch. I feel like it kind of maybe starts off a little bit slow if you're just starting off, and especially if you like don't know much about the royal family, but like just hang on, man. Like you just gotta pull through and keep watching because it's so good. And I think it's actually Netflix's most expensive show, and you can like really tell because it's just the production design is just like it looks like the real thing. Like it looks like they're actually in Buckingham Palace, and it's just so beautiful to look at. And then the acting is amazing, and it's just great. So I highly recommend The Crown. I highly recommend, all the shows that I watch on my channel for Fan Reaction Friday because I am like maybe a little teeny bit of a TV snob. Not really, but I don't. The shows that I watch on the channel are shows that I would genuinely recommend for people to watch. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably, it's like The Office, slow start, and then season 2 happened, lol. Oh, yeah, I guess I can see that connection. I actually have only, like, cherry-picked a couple episodes of The Office, but, yeah, I guess it's kind of like that. Except, I will say that, like, The Crown picks up within the first season. Yeah. Oh, okay, we have 4 people. So, hello to the 4 people who are watching. If you guys want to give this live stream a thumbs up, that would be great. Oh, now we have 5 people watching. Hello. If you've just joined the stream. Oh, Terry Nation Steven. Hey, Steven. If you guys have just joined the stream, give this video a thumbs up because it'll look really nice. That'll be cool if you can do that. Yeah. I'm so excited for you guys to see, like, I honestly haven't even started editing those videos that I took, the footage that I took while I was overseas. But I'm really excited for you guys to see what I captured and what I saw. Also, I'm gonna be making a more formal video about, like, what's to come on the channel. It was something that I wanted to do before I left out of the country. I just did not have enough time. But I'm gonna be making a video about this soon, but I just also wanted to say I'm gonna really try and be more active on Instagram. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Instagram. It's at INN_MHO. I'm gonna try and be a lot more active on Instagram because several of you have been like, why don't you have anything on Instagram? So I'm gonna try and be a lot more active on Instagram. But the reason why I bring that up is because I took a lot of like really cool pictures, while I was traveling. So I can't wait to share that with you guys, on YouTube and through picture form on Instagram. So if you haven't already, follow me there. I just saw that there was... In The Office, season 1 is boring because it's just like Office UK, but season 2 made the show a hit. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that The Office in America, the original one, is from the UK, but I didn't know about the whole, like, I didn't know about the whole season 1 was kind of a bleh because it kind of copied the Office of the UK. Okay, really cool. We have 7 people watching. When I saw the number, we have 6. Okay, I don't know what I just said. But when I looked in the corner, because I could see how many people are watching, when I saw the number 7, I literally thought it was like a question mark. I was like, what the hell? Oh, now it's 7. Have you watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? No, I haven't. Actually, well, okay. I've watched, like, the first couple episodes of My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and I did watch, one of the episodes that I remember distinctly watching was when Lea Salonga cameoed, because like I'm Filipino and I love Lea Salonga, so I was just like, ooh, I really want to watch it to support the community. But yeah, I haven't like consistently watched that show. That's a show that I definitely need to watch though, for sure, because I heard it's really funny, and again, it's like I tend to like musicals, and I know that show features some musical numbers. And I also heard that, I think I remember, if I don't remember correctly, I think the guy that she likes, Josh, is Filipino, and there is some like Filipino representation in the show. Like, like the food, and like the episode that I watched when Lea Salonga was in, like the guys were wearing barongs, which is this like cultural formal shirt that the men wear in the Philippines during a wedding. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, what is happening? So case in point, I need to watch that show, but I really haven't. I bet your trip will take a lot of editing. I imagine you took a lot of video while you were there. Oh yeah, I like literally took video footage every single day. And I think like I don't want to like spoil anything for you guys, but like when I was, how do I say this? You know when you like watch travel vlogs and whatnot of other people and you're like, "Oh, there's a very like traditional way you do where you're like, "Oh, hi, I'm here," and blah 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 blah. Like the travel videos I took when I'm like in Singapore and Malaysia and Manila, like I think I'm going to edit it in that style. But then the majority of my trip was spent in a province in the Philippines called Calibo in Aklan, because that's where my mom grew up. Like that's where my mom's side of the family is from. So I spent a lot of time there, and the reason why I spent a lot of time there, spoiler alert, is because to get to the point, my grandparents own this property in the Philippines, and they had a house built there, and my grandparents are no longer living, and so no one's living there except for like the people who helped like take care of the house. And like a couple, like last year or so, my mom got the idea of tearing down that house and renovating it into an apartment complex. And so my uncle, who's an architect and lives in the Philippines, he's actually been building the apartment complex, and we were supposed to go visit that place in May to kind of like check up on it. But then if you guys didn't know, my mom had a stroke, so then our trip got delayed, and that's the main reason why we went to the Philippines, was to check on the current status of the apartment. But the reason why I'm saying all of this is because when I was there in Calibo, it's a small town, so there really isn't like, there's stuff to do, but there also isn't that much stuff to do. So I kind of had to rethink how I was going to edit all of that footage. So I don't want to hype it up either, because I haven't really like seen a lot of the footage yet that I've taken when I was there. Like I would like basically transfer all that footage onto my external hard drive every single day, but I wasn't like watching it back every day. But I'm gonna try and do it in a bit of like a documentary, wow, that's really hard to say, documentary-esque way, like that particular like portion of the trip. Like it's going back to that specific part of the Philippines is like very personal to me, because I've been going there when I was young, and this was also like, this recent trip was the first time I'd been to the Philippines in like 10 years, so like a lot has changed, and I don't know. I don't want to give it all away, but it's going to be a little bit different from your typical like, "Hey, I'm here, look at me," sort of thing. But yeah, I have a lot of footage, and even just like, I'm literally going back right now, and I have my external hard drive and I have everything saved on there, and I'm trying to like organize everything, because I organized everything by day, but I like, it's literally just like appears as like a lot of different files. So right now I'm trying to like go through the footage and like name each file a thing, and then I have to do the same thing for the videos, and then name each clip a thing, and then I also want to add like descriptions, so then it's easier for me to know like what's in said clip. And then I'm going to try and like think about how I want to edit it. So it is going to take some time, but I promise you guys, like when all of those videos are out, like I'm going to cross my fingers that it's going to turn out really really good, because I'm going to make sure, like, I don't know, I hope it turns out great, and I hope you guys like it, because I can't wait to share this trip with you guys, because I took a lot of freaking footage. Like every single day I was taking videos and pictures. It's unreal. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and make sure you're following me on Instagram, because you're going to see a lot of like really cool pictures that I took. But yeah, that was a really long answer. Okay. Have you seen Lovesick? No, I have not. Have you watched Scam? No, I have not. Greetings from London. Oh, hey, London. I feel like there's a number of you who watch this channel who are all like I don't know, like a lot of you who watch this channel like just seem to be from the UK, so which is really really cool because I really want to go to the UK one day, and just do all of like the, you know, typical touristy things, but then like just also experience the culture. I don't know, maybe it's because I watch a lot of London. Wow, what am I saying? Maybe because I watch a lot who are from the UK. That's why I'm like, oh, I really want to go. But hey, in The Crown, out of Elizabeth and Princess Margaret, who do you like more as a character? Okay, before I answer that question, Annie's World said hey. So hey, Annie's World. And the question, who do I like more, a character, Elizabeth or Margaret? Um, I don't know. That's so hard. I mean, I like both for different reasons. Like with Elizabeth, like the thing, like I empathize with each character for two different like reasons. Like with Elizabeth, it's like, oh my gosh, like you have so much stress and pressure that you're under, and I like consistently kind of feel like I feel like bad for the life that has kind of been imposed on her at such a young age, but then at the same time I like admire the fact that she's like able to get through it. So I like Elizabeth for that reason. And she kind of like, when you think about like her position in the family, is she's like the queen, she's also the eldest between was gonna say Vanessa, that's the actress, between Margaret and herself. It's like I appreciate that she like stepped up to the plate, and she like knows that as the older sister and as the queen, like this is just what she has to do. So I'm just like, wow, that's amazing, and I totally respect you. But then like I think watching Margaret is just so fun. Like with Elizabeth, you're just like, oh, like that's how I feel when I watch Elizabeth. But then with like Margaret, I'm like, oh, yes, hey girl, what's up? Like she just seems more fun, and because she seems more fun, that's why I have a little like I take a little bit. I can breathe when I'm watching Margaret scenes, and just a lot of her story, like her storylines are sometimes like so like romantic and dramatic because she doesn't have to worry about the responsibilities that Elizabeth has to. So I don't know. I like both for different reasons, but then like when the two of them are together, it's so good. It's so good because there's like this like tension between the two for multitude of reasons. But yeah, I don't know if I answered that question, but I really love both. I can't choose. Oh, Red Nino Frost must know Starlight 21 because he said, "Hey mate, are you a Yorkie or a Kelly?" I don't know. Ooh, that's hard too. You guys are asking me really hard questions. Um, I mean, I'm Kelly because I'm like colored. No, just kidding. Uh, there's some. I feel like there's some elements of my personality that are definitely like Yorkie, but then there's some elements of my personality that I feel like are Kelly. Like with Kelly, I feel like, I mean, with Kelly, I feel like there's like a passion for living life, and there's a passion for like music and dance and just like experiencing things. But then at the same time, I'm like a Yorkie too, because there are times when I'm just like so shy and I'd rather be kind of like on the outskirts of things. I'm rather like observe the people versus like be in the middle of it all, which I feel like is more of a Kelly thing. I don't know. It's hard, but I mean, I do love that purple jacket that Kelly was wearing like when she first met Yorkie. Like that jacket was everything. In fact, a lot of her fashion choices throughout the entire episode, I was like, yes, like that would definitely be my fashion aesthetic if I was alive in the 80s. So, if we're talking fashion-wise, definitely a Kelly. I really recommend Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It has great Filipino representation, and it depicted BPD in such an informative and empathetic way. Oh, I don't know what BPD is. What is BPD? But that's really great to hear. Thank you for your Crown reactions. Before I saw them, I thought The Crown was a copy of Downton Abbey, which is amazing, but The Crown is a masterpiece. Oh, I'm so happy you took the time to watch The Crown. If my reactions and reviews brought you to The Crown, then I'm so happy it did that because The Crown is like a really, really great show. And I feel like a lot of like, I don't know how old you are. You don't have to tell me how old you are, but I feel like a lot of young people probably wouldn't watch The Crown, but and I also feel like if you kind of just saw that show, like a trailer for that show, you'd be like, ugh, a TV show about the royal family. Wow, how original. Or you might just think it's another, like, typical British TV drama, but it's still a great show in its own right. And also really love Downton Abbey too. I haven't finished the final season yet. But they're very two different shows about two very different things, but there are some like similarities, but they're both great shows in their own right. So I'm really glad you took the time to watch it. I'm so happy it's part of your life now. What are your favorite Black Mirror episodes? Oh, BPD is borderline personality disorder. Okay, I get it. Sorry. I should have known that. I majored in psychology in school, but wow, okay. That's really cool. I didn't even know that that show explored that. Oh, I really should watch that then, for sure. Isn't it on Netflix? I think it's on Netflix. Maybe I should, like, if I have time. I don't know. I have to record a reaction review video tonight for sure after the live stream is over. And then I'm gonna try and do another reaction, and then I'm gonna try and film another reaction review video tomorrow again because I don't know if any of you guys are anticipating my American Crime Story reaction review videos. Ooh, Lord. But they're coming, okay? They're coming. But what are your favorite Black Mirror episodes? Um it's really interesting cuz I actually did a ranking of my Black Mirror episodes. There's a video of that on my channel. I don't really remember the particular ranking, but I do remember my top 3. My At the time, I remember I said my favorite, and I still think it's my favorite. No, not even think. I know. It's still my favorite. The San Junipero episode of Black Mirror is my favorite episode of Black Mirror, and I know it's very atypical to the series, but I still really, really loved it. And honestly, like, I will legitimately say it is, like, in my top 10 favorite things I've ever, like, consumed in media, whether that was, like, movie or music video or, like, album or, I don't freaking know, documentary or show. Like, that for me is in my top 10 favorite things I've ever, like, consumed as an audience person. So, San Junipero's my favorite. I remember I said in my ranking, I think I said my second favorite was either Be Right Back or Entire History of You. If not, it was they flip flopped. But I don't know if I would rank Be Right Back as high anymore, but those two for sure. I also really enjoyed Nosedive. Like, surprisingly, that's an episode that I go back to frequently. Because, you know, Bryce Dallas Howard is just so great in that episode. And the cinematography of that episode, like all those pastels, are gorgeous. And the score of that episode, too, is just like, it's beautiful. I really like Nosedive. Playtest is so much fun. Like, it's kind of like a horror story in a sense, but I really liked Playtest. And Shut Up and Dance, I was like, oh, shit. Like, when they revealed what Kenny did, I was like, oh my god, Kenny. I also, this season, I really liked Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ. Like, the ending of that episode, I was like, I was literally speechless. You guys can watch it on my channel. Like, I had, like, I was in shock, but Hang the DJ is another one I really liked. I also really liked White Bear. That was a good one. I feel like I'm literally naming every single episode. The ones that I will say, I think it's easier for me to say what I didn't like. The episodes I didn't like really so far that I've seen are Men Against Fire, and I think it's because, like, it's hard when that's like the follow up. That's like the literal episode that follows San Junipero. So it's like a hard act to follow. And also, like, that blonde girl in that episode, like, was just so effing annoying. So I don't like her. And she's the reason why I don't like that episode. And also, like, kind of like the message of it was a little bit predictable. But Men Against Fire, the Waldo moment, I don't know. It just kind of felt flat, narrative wise. And Crocodile. I did not like Crocodile. Because, like, Mia was a bitch. I really, like, I didn't sympathize with her at all. So, and, like, I can't believe she killed the freaking husband and the kid. So those 3, I will say I didn't really like. And the husband deserved better because he was like really. I said it in the video multiple times. He was really attractive. He deserved better. But yeah. Um. Okay, I'm going back. Jesus, there are so many series I need to play catch up on. I don't even know. I should add some movies in there. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, speaking of movies, I'm so behind on usually like when Oscar season starts. That's when I'm usually like, oh, gotta watch the movies. But because I was out of the country in January, I just didn't like I couldn't see any movies. And now like the Oscars are like literally like 2 weeks away, so I'm not really like emotionally invested this season. Last year I watched like 95% of those movies, but this season I've only seen like Get Out and that was it. So yeah, I need to watch movies too, like play catch up there. Are you a history enthusiast? Because most people won't even try to watch The Crown unless they are forced to watch it by some friend or anyone closer. I wouldn't call myself. I mean, I like history, but I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with history. But the royal family has always kind of been a subject I've been like distantly interested in. More so because of the whole like Princess Diana connection. I'm a little bit more familiar with like that particular part of the royal family history, but I wouldn't call myself like a history enthusiast per se. I'm like a pop culture history enthusiast, but not like actual like, you know, legitimate academic history. But you know what? Like we can make pop culture history like academic depending on how you look at it. We spoke about The Good Place on Twitter. I just realized that one of the main characters was born in Manila, Manny Jacinto. Oh, cool. Okay. That's a fun little fact. Which do you like better, The Crown or Handmaid's Tale? The Crown. I like The Crown better. It's because like with The Handmaid's Tale, like that is such a hard show to watch. Like not to say like, oh god, it's so difficult, but I mean like when you watch The Crown, even though like there are like really dramatic points, it's still like it's like delicious and fun to watch. Whereas with The Handmaid's Tale, it's like some of those like episodes are like really hard to like stomach. And you're just like, oh my god, like they're really dark. So I enjoy watching The Crown more. Like I remember when I was doing my reaction review videos for The Handmaid's Tale, like not to say like I was complaining, but sometimes I'd be like, oh man, I'm not really in the mood to watch The Handmaid's Tale right now just because it's so dark. So I will say I like The Crown better, but I mean both are really great shows. OMG, I agree, San Junipero is better than my life. She did the little sign. Yeah, same. Have you seen It's End of the Effing World? It's really funny and the episodes are short. No, I haven't. I haven't seen that. Is that on like I don't know, what network is that on? I feel like maybe that's like on Fox or something. San Junipero is hands down the best TV episode I've ever seen. Yeah, you know what? Like I've seen a lot of TV in my life because I just love watching TV and I'm a TV enthusiast. But I will say San Junipero is like definitely up there. I don't know if it's like the best because that's like such a statement to make, but you know, I wouldn't like if someone were to ask me like what was the best TV episode you've ever seen in your life, like I like if I were to think really quickly, I'd probably say San Junipero because that episode, man, like god. What an episode. So so good. I haven't seen that episode in a really 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 long time. Traveling overseas. I remember there's like there's a feature if you have the Netflix app where you can download certain episodes and certain movies, and the first thing I thought to my head was like I need to download San Junipero, and I actually didn't even watch it, but I just like I needed to download it just in case I wanted to watch it. But I would have to agree with you. It's like right up there. As an American, what do you think of Meghan Markle's upcoming marriage to Prince Harry? Ooh, I don't know. I'm excited. It's cool. Um, I will most definitely be staying up to watch their royal wedding because my mom and I actually stayed up to watch Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding, so I'm gonna be doing the same for Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding. Um, I don't know. I feel like that's all I pretty much have to say. I mean, like, I wonder, like, for you guys in the UK, like, how do you guys feel? Because I feel like this affects you guys more than it does us. So I'd be really interested to hear, like, what you guys think about that whole situation, especially because, like, not to, like, diminish actors and actresses, but, like, especially because she's an actress, so she's sort of like this person that's, even though she's, like, not extremely popular, but like, when I say extremely popular, I mean, like, she's not like freaking Jennifer Lawrence where, like, she steps out and, like, people are following her. But now, that's the case. But especially because she's kind of used to that, like, life in the media. Maybe that was a thing. Maybe that was something that kind of eased Harry's, like, mind a little bit, was that because she is sort of used to that because of her work, her line of work. Maybe the transition wouldn't be as hard. I don't know. What do you guys think? Especially if you guys are from the UK, because again, I just feel like this affects you guys more than it does us. But as an American, I'm like, hey, cool, another royal wedding I can stay up late and watch. Which is your favorite episode from Crown season 2? According to me, Dear Mrs. Kennedy was quite entertaining and exciting. Ooh, god dang. Wait, was there another? Okay, let me see. I need to pull up the IMDb listing of the Crown episodes, because I feel like it'd be easier for me to recollect. Okay, hello. Why is it like not? Okay, there we go. Let's see. Shall we? Season 2. Oh man. I mean, Dear Mrs. Kennedy was great. I feel like a standout for me is like Dear Mrs. Kennedy and Paterfamilias. That was just so devastating. Also, I really liked A Company of Men, when they did the letters, when they like read their Christmas speeches from different parts of the world. I enjoyed that. And then I liked Marionettes. But I don't know. I feel bad for saying this is like arguably my favorite, or at least like in my top 3, but I really enjoyed the barrel episode of The Crown. I don't know, like maybe it was like the music of the episode that I was like, wow, this is great. But I really enjoyed Barrel. I really liked the Barrel episode. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you the one episode maybe that I was kind of like meh about was Ver Vergangenheit, the one about the uncle and how shady he was. That episode was okay, but yeah, that's my answer. Um, yeah. Let's see. So we've been at it for 38 minutes. So I'm probably gonna like keep going for about 12 more minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Do you watch Game of Thrones? No, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones and I liked it. And then I remember I was trying to start season 2 at the time. This was like many years ago. I was trying to start season 2, but then like I couldn't find a good link to season 2 cuz I don't have HBO, so I was watching it through like other websites, and I couldn't find like a good link to watch season 2. So then I just stopped because it was so hard for me to find like good links to watch it. But yeah, and also like I don't know, like it's sort of like when people ask me like do you watch Grey's Anatomy? It's like I watched up until the second season of Grey's Anatomy, but then like when I think about Game of Thrones and then Grey's Anatomy, it's like there are so many episodes to catch up to. And then especially with Game of Thrones, it's like each of those episodes are an hour freaking long. I'm just like, I don't have time for that. So, to answer your question, I technically have, but I'm not I'm so behind with Game of Thrones and I'm not watching it right now. But I mean, I should be because it's another great show. How many countries have you visited? Um, let's see. I visited Canada because I have family in Canada, and I remember I went there for I think he's like my godfather's wedding. Um, Visited Mexico. I remember we took like a family vacation there like a couple times when I was younger. Been to the Philippines, obviously. I've been there like I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 times now. Uh, Recently on this trip, like I said, I went to the Philippines, but then I also went to Malaysia, went to Kuala Lumpur. That's the capital of Malaysia. And then we also went to Singapore. And then I've also technically been to Korea and Japan, but it was only because they were like stopovers, like en route to somewhere else. So I've spent time in the Korean airport. If you guys are Korean, you guys have a very clean and fabulous airport. So been there. And then Japan, like I said, but it's not like I left the airport in Japan and Korea. It was literally like we were in the airport getting out to transfer to another flight or to like just as like a layover or stopover. So yeah. So I don't know. Is that like 6, 7? Wait. Mexico, Canada, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Korea, Japan. Okay, so 7. I'd love to visit Japan. Me too. We were actually supposed to visit Japan on this trip. The plan was to go to Singapore and then Japan, but Japan is like kind of far from the Philippines, and then I also heard like right now in January it's like winter season there, so it's snowing and it's really really cold, so it just would have been like really really hard to do anything there. So we opted for Malaysia instead. But I think my mom said next time we go travel, we might go to Japan for to see like the cherry blossoms and whatnot. So yeah. Have you seen the 100? No, I have not. I agree with you on The Handmaid's Tale. It was so triggering to watch. I stopped after episode 3. I feel like it also really lacks racial politics, especially with casting, though I love Samira Wiley. Oh, yeah. For sure, for sure. I totally get what you mean in terms of like the lack thereof of racial issues brought up in The Handmaid's Tale because, there's layers to how this all works. But, yeah, Handmaid's Tale, it's a hard watch. It's a hard watch because watching what some of those characters have to endure, especially June, what she has to endure on a day-to-day basis, you're just like, oh my god, this is just too much. So it's not, when you watch a character kind of have to go through that kind of torture practically in every single episode, it's kind of like, wow, this is kind of sad to watch. So it kind of takes the fun out of watching that show. But speaking of The Handmaid's Tale and The Crown, I do hope that, Claire Foy is able to, she'll probably get nominated, but I hope she wins because this is her last, like, opportunity to win in that category for The Crown at least. So I hope, Claire Foy wins and not Elizabeth Moss, because if you guys don't remember, before Handmaid's Tale came out, like, Claire Foy won the Golden Globe, she won the SAG Awards, and then The Handmaid's Tale came out, and then it was time for Emmys, and then Elizabeth Moss won. And even though I'm not upset that she won, but I'm like, you, like, totally stole Claire Foy's thunder. So I hope this time around, even though, again, like, we have yet to see the second season of Handmaid's Tale, and it's gonna be more fresh in people's minds by the time Emmy season comes around. I still hope people remember The Crown and the amazing performance Claire Foy delivered, and that they give her that win. And I also hope too that Matt Smith gets a nomination because he was really great this season, especially in the Paterfamilias episode. Really, really like devastating performance. I don't know if you guys have any other questions. Okay, so 15 more minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a night, and then I will see you Friday again. If you're looking for good movies to watch, I really recommend Call Me by Your Name. It's Oscar worthy. Yes, I've been hearing a lot about Call Me by Your Name. The thing is, I really wanted to watch it before I left, and I remember it had a limited release. I think back in like, I don't know, October or November. So I know it came out like in limited theaters like in New York, and I'm sure it came out in limited theaters in LA. But it didn't come out, like it didn't have a wide release until January. So I couldn't even see it in a theater near me until January. And like I said, I was out of the country, so I just couldn't watch it. But hopefully at least before Oscar season I can watch it. I really want to watch like Call Me by Your Name and Lady Bird and I, Tanya, because like for me, out of all the movies that are nominated, like I feel like I, Tanya is the one that I'm like, ooh, I have a feeling that in terms of like what I like, I'm really gonna enjoy I, Tanya. And I'm also like more familiar with that story too. What if you get to visit Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham? What will be your reaction? I would just be like, oh, where are the corgis? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Like, that'd be surreal. Obviously, that would never happen because, like, I'm like not a extraordinary person by any means. So, yeah. Ooh, here's a question that I really enjoy. What's your all-time favorite Whitney Houston song? All of them. No, just kidding. But I'm not. Ooh, I don't know. Ugh, you guys, I'm gonna be like, when I like start revamping the channel, like I'm really gonna try and integrate more music, and with that, like, definitely expect more Whitney Houston centric content. Because I don't know, ever since I saw that documentary, Whitney Can I Be Mean, like I've literally been in a Whitney Houston tunnel. So, there has not been a day that's gone by where I have not listened to Whitney Houston. In fact, I will say that before I left to go to the Philippines, because I had the Tidal app, so I had like the ability to download like all the music that I wanted, because then when I had no Wi-Fi in the plane, and then when I was in like different parts of the world, like there was just no Wi-Fi, at least I had my music. And there were some nights when I was just really homesick, and I would genuinely just listen to Whitney Houston music. But with that being said, it'll be easier for me. I feel like if you're watching this, I'd love a Whitney centric content. She's my diva. Haha. Oh my god. Okay, by the way, if you love Whitney Houston, I feel like you probably are familiar with these two YouTube channels, but there's these two YouTube channels that like I always go to whenever I want to watch Whitney Houston centric content. So I want to share that with you. It's called one of them is called Whitney is Back, and then the other one is okay, one of them is called Whitney is Back, and I think the other one, oh, I want to get it right because it's like these two YouTube channels, man. I'm always like, oh, the best Whitney Houston YouTube content. Oh, I can't see it right now. I think it's like um okay, well, I don't remember because I don't want to waste time, but look up Whitney is Back, and then you'll probably find the other YouTube channel that I'm talking about. But great Whitney Houston content. But returning back to your question, it'll be easier for me to like go album by album. So for the first album, which is called Whitney Houston, or yeah, Whitney Houston, um, I really enjoy off of that album You Give Good Love and All at Once. Really love those songs. And then for the second album, Whitney came out in 1987, the same year as Bad and Sign of the Times. Fun fact. I mean, like, obviously, I Want to Dance with Somebody, but also, let me see. I should know this off the top of my head. It's just, like, easier for me to, where's my phone? Okay, cool. It's just easier for me to, go and answer this question when I'm looking at her discography. So I'm gonna open up. Okay, so the second album, which is Whitney, I really really enjoy. Like I just said, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Also, her cover of the Isley Brothers For the Love of You is such a freaking jam. Woo! For the Love of You. And then also I really like this is probably like my favorite B-side underrated Whitney Houston song. It's called Where You Are. Love Where You Are. Like, ooh, girl, love that song. And then the third album, I'm Your Baby Tonight, All the Man That I Need. Fourth album, Bodyguard. My favorite song off of the Bodyguard soundtrack is I Have Nothing, because when I finish listening to I Have Nothing, I literally feel like I have nothing. So I Have Nothing, off of Preacher's Wife, I Believe in You and Me, off of Waiting to Exhale, Why Does It Hurt So Bad, off of My Love Is Your Love, My Love Is Your Love, and also Heartbreak Hotel and Until You Come Back. And then the next was Just Whitney album. One of Those Days is such a freaking jam. That I feel like that album is kind of underrated, but also like there are some songs where I'm like, ooh, Whitney girl, I just feel like you were not focused when you were making this album. But One of Those Days I really enjoy. And then off of the last album, which is I Look to You, I Look to You. That's my favorite song off that album. So very long-winded answer, but I hope that answers your question. As you can tell, I'm a fairly big Whitney Houston fan. Okay, Haya, what is your favorite guilty pleasure? Turn your brain off movie. Probably Dean Classic. You're the Michael Jackson fan. I remember you. I really like watching Mean Girls because that is just like that is the movie of my generation. Like I feel like it's a classic. It's a classic movie. I don't care what people say. Mean Girls, The Notebook, and Bridesmaids. Top three to answer that. Guilty pleasure movies. George. Oh, yes, I've missed these. I've missed these too, George. When will be your next live stream? Will you do those on a specific day of the week or anything like that? I'm thinking for live streams, I really do want to do consistent live streams where I'm not just like, huh, hi. I feel like Sundays are a good day to do live streams. Possibly at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's really hard for me to kind of pick a time and to pick a day because I want the live streams to be as accessible to everyone around the world, and it's just like it's that's like kind of like an impossible task because like I could pick a time that's convenient for me and maybe convenient for other people who live in the United States, but then they might not be convenient for people who live in the UK. So, I don't know, it's hard. Let me know, like, I don't know, once this live stream is over, it really helped me out if you guys could comment down below. Like, just take the time to comment down below once the live stream is over. Or if you can, no, once the live stream is over, because that's when the comments will stay. When this live stream is over, just comment down below in the comment section like when would be the best time for you to do the live stream. I can't accommodate everyone because that's impossible, but if I could kind of find like a middle ground between myself and you guys, like that'd just be ideal. But yeah, in terms of day though, it's looking like Sunday. I freaked out when you said Where You Are is your fave. I love that song. See? Where You Are, guys. Like, for anyone who was not a Whitney Houston fan, like, first of all, what are you doing? But second of all, like, once you get, like, even if you are, like, a casual Whitney, like, listener, like, once you get finished listening to I Will Always Love You and, like, you know, the, what's another, like, classic Whitney song they always play? Like, I Want to Dance with Somebody or, like, Saving All My Love for You. Like, those are great Whitney songs. But listen to her albums and specifically listen to Where You Are off of her second album because Where You Are is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like, oh, it's so good. I love that song. I love that song. Wish I Knew You Were Live. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm live now, so I hope you're watching. Fetch. Yeah, that's a Mean Girls reference. Weekends are good in my book. Okay, cool, cool. I remember you too, LOL. Okay, last question. Who do you think is the true queen of pop? Whitney, Beyonce, or Janet? Whoa. Oh my god. Dang. Wow, you're putting me on the spot because I absolutely love and adore those three artists. I don't know. It's like those three for me, like if anything, I feel like Beyonce and Janet are more similar than Whitney is with the three of them. I don't know. I mean, like King of Pop is Michael Jackson, right? But and I'm not even like, okay, I feel like this might be a little bit controversial, but I feel like a lot of people tend to give the Queen of Pop title to Madonna. And like, I like Madonna, but I'm not like obsessed with Madonna, cuz you know, I know like the basic hits, but I haven't like listened to every single album and I know all the words. I'm not on that Madonna level. But I don't know. I mean, for me it's hard, like as big of a fan as I am with Beyonce, like I love Beyonce and I will genuinely say like current artists living right now, like current, like that's the operative word here. Current meaning like she's an artist who is still making albums and making videos and touring, and she is making music that still appeals to a lot of young people. Because I know that Janet, you know, Janet Jackson, thank you Jesus, is still alive, but I wouldn't necessarily like call her like current artist. She's more like legend status now because like, you know, she's no longer in like her mainstream media phase in her career. She's like, you know, older and, you know, has a life. So, but it's hard for me to say that like Beyonce is the like deserves the Queen of Pop title, because then that would mean that she's on the same level as Michael, and it's hard for as Michael, it's hard for me to give her that title because I just put Michael, like my hand is out of the frame, but he's like the ultimate for me. So I don't know if it's fair for me to say like yes, Beyonce is the queen, like his queen. But for me, Beyonce is like the best artist out right now, like currently making music. So there's that. With Whitney, so between Whitney and Janet, I mean like it'd be perfect for me to just say Janet because that's, you know, Michael's sister, and like Janet is legendary in her own right too. But I don't know, Queen of Pop, if she deserves that title. And with Whitney, it's like, because when you think pop star, you think like not only great singer, but you think like great dancer and great like performance and everything. Not to say that, you know, Whitney isn't a great performer, but like when I think of a pop star, I don't necessarily think of Whitney Houston, because I also like when I think of Whitney, I think of like ballads. But she also has like great pop tunes too. I don't know. I don't know. And not to say too that like being called the blank of pop anything is such it's like a bad thing, because I mean to be called the king of pop, like Michael Jackson, there you go. But I don't know. I don't know. I would say not those three. I think Madonna is more appropriate to be called the queen of pop. But between the three, I don't know. That's hard. That's so hard. I think you said sorry to put you on the spot. I put you on the spot. It's okay. No worries. I love answering questions like this. Because like talking about like Michael, Prince, Whitney, Janet, Beyonce, and Stevie Wonder, like that's like one of my favorite things to talk about because those are my favorite artists ever. So it's an interesting question for sure. I don't know if I had to pick between the three. It doesn't feel right putting any of those people as Queen of Pop for some reason. Like I maybe it's because in my head I've always just associated and heard Madonna is the queen, Michael is the king. I mean, if we were going by era, it's weird too because when you go by era too, like Beyonce doesn't belong in the same era as Michael. Whitney and Janet belong in the same era as Michael. I mean, who has more hits? I don't know. Whoever has the most hits, I guess, would probably be more appropriate to be called Queen of Pop. So I'd have to maybe get it down between Janet and Whitney. Maybe Whitney. I know I just said I when I think of a pop star, I don't necessarily think of Whitney, but yeah, maybe Whitney. Thoughts on the upcoming Incredible sequel? Super excited. I love the Incredibles movie. Like I remember when that movie came out when I was 10. I was like, yes! So I'm really, really pumped for that movie. It's also one of my favorite Pixar movies too. I remember I just read your comments or I put you on the spot. It's okay. Dean Classic. Any music related questions are welcome, especially regarding those wonderful artists I mentioned earlier. She just okay. Gun? I don't know. You dig Doctor Who, my dude? I don't watch Doctor Who, unfortunately. I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who. My friends, I have two friends who are like, they love Doctor Who, and they want me to get into Doctor Who, but every time they describe that show, they just like get so like they're like on the verge of tears. So I don't know if like I can emotionally handle Doctor Who, because it just seems like a very emotionally overwhelming thing to be invested in and to watch. So yeah, I don't watch Doctor Who, and I don't know if I ever will. But I do know that Matt Smith was a doctor in Doctor Who, so I don't know. If I were to ever watch Doctor Who, maybe I would start when he is specifically the doctor. But yeah. Alright, so it's like been an hour. I could keep going if you guys want. I can also stop if you guys want. Doesn't really matter to me. If you guys want me to keep going, just comment that you want me to keep going, and then I don't know, you could just keep bringing up different topics for me to kind of talk and discuss. I don't know. Yeah, so but I hope you guys have been enjoying this live stream so far, because it's definitely been a while. Did my question get skipped? Ooh, I don't know. Try asking it again. I don't know. Try asking it again, Allie Takes. Keep going if missed these. Okay, I'll keep going. Last question, I promise. It's okay. You can keep asking me questions, because it gives me something to talk about. Oh wait, before I get to your question though. Gun violence in America. Oh, right. I heard about the shooting today. Devastating. That's just so, like, I feel like I'm not too politically informed in that particular subject matter, so I don't want to, like, go on a whole spiel about it, but I will say it is very tiring and very devastating to watch all the gun violence that is consistently happening in this country, and I just feel like we as a country have gotten to the point where, like, people are just, they're just mad that it just feels like the government isn't really, like, doing anything about it, and it's kind of like, when are you gonna do anything about it? Like, because I feel like there's just been so many different people from different walks of life and different ages, like old people, young people, even like children, like today in schools, and then you think about the young kids who died in the Newton attack. It's like, when are you gonna make a change? So I don't know. It's sad. It's devastating, and it's disheartening when you hear about another gun related shooting, and like it's scary, because then you start to think, oh my god, like, is it safe for me to go to a movie theater? Is it safe for me to even go to school? I don't know. It's scary. I hope the government does something, but I don't think that this administration is going to do anything anytime soon. So last question, I promise. What's a music genre you despise or are indifferent about? I will say I'm not really into this whole, like, trap music that's, like, occurring right now in music. I don't know. I don't like trap music. And I think that's kind of, like, a very, like, unpopular opinion, especially for, like, someone who is my age, because I feel like a lot of, like, people in their 20s and then, like, teenagers love the trap music. I don't like it. It scares me. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I just don't understand what they're saying. What are you saying? What are you saying? Are you rapping? You're not even rapping. Like, the quality of rap isn't even good. I can't understand what you're saying. And then it's like the beats are just like, I don't know. And then I'm also not really a fan of EDM. Yeah, don't really like EDM. That music kind of hurts my head. Huh? What do you need? Oh, the tape? Here you go. Let me close this door. I don't really like EDM because it's just kind of like, wow, wow, wow. Like, the music, it's just kind of, it hurts my head again. And it just doesn't sound like music. It just sounds like a bunch of sounds melded together and mashed together in a computer. So those are probably, like, the two genres of music that I really don't like, which unfortunately are the two genres that are very, like, prevalent in today's music. So yeah, not yeah, EDM and trap music. I'm like about. If we could get like real instruments back, people can actually sing back, it'd be great. But I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. Right. All right. I'm gonna go for 5 more minutes, and then I will stop. Um, but let's see here. If you were to have your own movie production company, what kind of movies would you be making? Ooh, I love that question. Dean, asking all the good questions. Not to say that all of you guys didn't ask good questions, but I really like Dean's questions. That's actually one of my like big goals in life is to have my own production company. So that's really interesting that you asked me that. I mean, I feel like a part of me really wants to make, I don't even know if like movies is like the direction that I would want to go in, because for me I've always liked TV a bit more, and maybe it's because TV was always more accessible to me than the movies were, because the movies it was like you have to get up and you have to go and you have to pay, whereas like with TV it was just like right there. And I also just feel like in terms of today's media landscape, I feel like television is the more exciting place to be. Like there's more diversity in TV. There's more different types of stories that are being told in TV. The way that those stories are being told on TV, it's different. Like you have the traditional media, like with just, your basic cable networks, and then you have your streaming networks like a Netflix and a Hulu and an Amazon. And then you also have like YouTube where people are producing, like literally making their own content and uploading it on YouTube. So, I mean, for me, if I were to have a TV production company, like some shows that I have in mind, because I have like thought about this, is I would kind of want to make some kind of like indirectly answering your question, Dean, but one show that I really would love to create is I would love to see sort of like an anthology series about the 27 Club. So each season would be about a different person in the 27 Club. So you would have a season about Kurt Cobain, then you'd have a season about Amy Winehouse, and then you'd have a season about Jimi Hendrix. And the season would be sort of like showing their like not showing their death, but I think it would begin with the news of their death, and then each episode would kind of show you how they potentially got there, and like the heartbreak and the decisions that they made that ultimately got them to where they were, which is, their demise, and which is what led them to being inducted into this like notorious 27 Club. That's one show I have in mind. Another show that I would, not another show, but kind of like, again, oh no, please don't steal my idea, Allie takes. Another thing I would love is, maybe this is more of like a movie idea, but you know how like with Marvel, or maybe this would be, I don't know, maybe more oriented towards like series, but you know how like Marvel, when they did their like movies, it's like they gave you the origin story of like Spider-Man, and then like all the different superheroes. Sorry, I'm not like really acquainted with that whole thing, but I would kind of like to see sort of either a movie or a TV show about how yeah, they're kind of like what they're doing with the show Genius. Yeah, exactly, kind of like that. So I would love to see like a show about like the making of MTV and how it got to be like this big like cultural network, sort of. I'm not really like pitching this right, but like I would just like to see either a movie or a TV show about how MTV became MTV, and like an episode would focus on like how like, these guys essentially got together and they created this network, and how like a lot of people didn't really believe in it, but then it became this huge thing, and then like different artists started getting involved in the network. So in like throughout the episodes, you would kind of see different stars kind of pop in. Like maybe you would see like a Michael Jackson pop in for like one episode, because again, like if you guys aren't aware, Michael Jackson was the well, he's noted as being the first African American to get his video on MTV. So you would see like these different artists kind of pop in and out of MTV's history. And then with those cameos, like Michael Jackson would then, the Michael Jackson character would then be able to get his own like series spin-off. So then you would kind of see his character pop in and out. Like, I don't know if this is making any sense, but that's another idea that I kind of have. Another idea that I actually started working on with my two other friends is this show called Fangirls. We started like thinking about this back when we were seniors in high school, and then we like wrote a pilot episode when we were freshmen in college, and then we haven't really done anything with it. But the show is called Fangirls, and essentially it's kind of like this coming of age TV show about three girls who are growing up in the social media age, and they're kind of like self-professed fangirls because they each fangirl about different parts of entertainment, and just kind of seeing how their like passion for media informs their life in different ways, if that, you know, that's kind of the gist of the show. So yeah, those are three different shows that I would love to see. In terms of movies, I don't know, any movie that has great minority representation, especially like for me, obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased here, but I would love to see more Asian American representation, and especially more Filipino representation, because I just feel like we don't really get to see our stories told really anywhere, and if they're being told, they're not being told by us. So I would love to see more stories like about like my kind of people, and like, you know, great female lead movies, and biopics, music biopics would be cool too. So yeah. Oh, a movie that I did have in mind though of wanting to make one day is you know, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Across the Universe, but it was this jukebox musical that came out like 2008, 2009, and essentially it was a movie musical, but the music was it was all music from the Beatles. So I would kind of like to have that similar like idea, but instead of music of the Beatles, I would like to make a jukebox musical specifically with the music of Stevie Wonder. And the movie would obviously be called Songs in the Key of Life or something like that. And it would kind of take place like in the 60s and the 70s, like during the civil rights movement, and then using Stevie Wonder's music to sort of like, you know, highlight and express the themes that are going on during that period of American history. So yeah, that's another movie idea that I have. I don't know. And I'd also really like to have some like documentaries, maybe documentary shorts in digital content form. I don't know. These are all just like very like nice, fluffy ideas. But if I was ever in a position where I could like make those things happen, I totally would. So I don't know. Do any of those ideas sound good to you guys? I feel like I've been rambling. Do you have any guilty pleasure shows or music? Stuff that is so banal and dumb that you don't want your friends to know you like it? Probably like my biggest guilty pleasure, honestly, is probably that I was really obsessed with Glee when I was like in high school. That's kind of embarrassing to say now, but yeah, Glee. That's my guilty pleasure. It kind of like checks off. I know it doesn't really, I think you asked about, oh, well, no, you asked about shows. That kind of checks off the shows and music, box. Keep the name. He fans out about similar things but doesn't connect with the rest of the world, so his 3 girlfriends is his favorite place to be himself. Ooh, I don't know what you were talking about. Are you talking about fangirls? Are you giving me an idea? Dean Classic. When they make a Michael Jackson movie, and they will, who do you think can possibly play him? I've been struggling with this question myself. I don't know if they'll ever, honestly, Dean, I don't know if Michael Jackson's life is, like, digestible in a movie. Because if you make a movie about Michael Jackson's life, because his life was just so expansive, like he had so much stuff going on when he was like young, and then you have like his Jackson 5 era days, and then you have his Jackson era days, like before he reached off the wall fame, but then like this is post Jackson 5 fame. But I still feel like he went through like some stuff during that particular point in his life. Then you have the off the wall days, and you have like the thriller era days, and then the bad era days, and then the dangerous era days. And then you kind of get into like the whole child molestation, like craziness trial. Well, trial, not yet, but the first child molestation accusations in the 90s. And then, he gets married to Lisa Marie Presley around the time too, and then they break up, and then the 2000s happen, and then he tries to like have sort of like a comeback with Invincible, but then like it doesn't really, like, it's not too successful. And then Martin Bashir's documentary, which kind of leads inadvertently to the child molestation trials during 2005. Then he like disappears, and then he comes back, and then he does, this is it. It's supposed to be his comeback, and then he dies. I don't know. There's just like that. His life is too big to put in a single movie. Like, just like how like Prince's life is too big to fit in a single movie, and just like how Whitney Houston's life is too big to fit in a single movie, I genuinely feel like Michael Jackson's story would be more accurately told, and not even just accurately, but his story would be told in a more like justified way if you were to do it like in a limited series form, sort of like The Crown. Like Queen Elizabeth again has like a very big life, so they have like a TV series devoted to it where like each season is sort of like a decade or an era in her life. So I just feel like that's how Michael's life should be approached. In like, you focus on specific eras, and then that could be its own season. Because I don't know, I just feel like it's like, if you're gonna do a movie, you would have to focus in on a particular point in his life, because it's just too much. But in terms of actor, I don't know. I don't even know if, maybe I feel like they should probably just go with an unknown. They should just go with an unknown for Michael. I can't think of any actor right now. I wish Bruno Mars was tall. He would have been my best pick. LOL, no offense, Bruno. I mean, like, then again, it's like, if you were to choose someone, like, I get why you would say Bruno Mars, because again, like, there's very similar music styles between the two of them, but it's like, I wouldn't just want to cast someone because they are someone. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna do a Michael Jackson movie, if I'm gonna do like a Michael Jackson project, like, I would want to hire an actor who can like legitimately act. Like, not just because like they are someone. So I don't know. I just feel like the best case scenario if they were to cast a Michael Jackson is they should just cast an unknown. Because, that's a lot. To play Michael is a lot. Yes, fangirl. Add a jock type joke that top guy. Add a jock type guy that shouldn't be part of your group, but he fans out about so many things, and he only feels like himself when he's with three girls. Oh, that's a cute idea. I like that too. If the girls also are in love with the guys, and the third girl is the one he really likes. Drama. Ooh. Maybe that could be like a recurring character in the series. But yeah. All right, guys. 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go full sure, because I need to film my reaction and review to this week's Black Mirror video, because I haven't filmed it yet. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream, and you know what? I'm going to say we're going to do another live stream this Sunday. I promise you, we're going to do a live stream this Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, George. Okay, so yes, we're going to do another live stream this Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will tweet it out. So if you guys are not following me on Twitter, go do that. And then we'll do this again, and it'll be lots of fun, and I hope more people will be able to join us then. So Georgia said bye. Dean Classic, this has been great. I'll be there for the next one. You're a ray of sunshine. Thanks, Dean. And that's about it. So, as always, everything I said, which is my own personal thoughts and all in my humble opinion. I will see you guys this. I'm dying. Okay. I will see you guys this Friday for a new Fan Reaction Friday video, which I'm going to film right now. And then I will see you guys this Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will tweet it out again a couple days before, and then I'll tweet out the link on Twitter, so then anyone who's on Twitter can join. And then I don't know if there will be a Wednesday video next week, because again, like I said, I'm working on trying to revamp the channel. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoy this live stream. Bye. Oh, Terra Nation, Steven, bye. Okay, Sunday, added you on Twitter. Great, cool, thanks. Okay, bye guys. I hope you guys have a great day, night, evening, wherever, whenever you're watching this. Okay, bye. This was fun. Thanks for joining me.